Morning, all, and let us continue our look through the potential members of the Seattle Kraken for next year. So, as we still try to navigate how this year's going to work, this is going to be interesting too, because let's just say they go, we can't have a season. Then, what makes somebody exempt or not exempt could change dramatically. And it'll be interesting to see what happens. Now, for Arizona, I have opted to, already two of the no movement clause contracts meant that they had to be protected. So that's Kessel up front and Ekman-Larsson on the blue line. I don't think that Ekman-Larsson would be available. Kessel might be. Kessel, I could see Arizona saying, all right, well, we'll let go of Phil Kessel depending on how he plays in the upcoming season. But they don't have that option. And then I have them protecting Keller, clearly. Schmaltz, who they signed to a long-term contract. Dvorak, Krause, and Garland. Can't see them not protecting any of those guys. Can't see it. And on the blue line, I added Chychrun and Demers. So, really, Arizona doesn't have to worry about losing any of their core pieces. Darcy Kemper I protected as well, assuming they hold on to Kemper, which they should. If you're watching, don't trade Kemper. Which means that Seattle, they have a couple of decent options, but again, if we look at what Vegas did their first year, I think it's going to be hard to recreate Vegas, considering what we have even now to choose from. So Stepan, I would leave unprotected. He's a UFA in 2021 anyways. Now, it's possible that in order to meet exposure requirements, some of these guys sign extensions with Arizona, just with Arizona having the idea that they're going to leave them exposed in the expansion draft. But if a player knows that, and they know that means they're likely to go to Seattle, are they more likely to sign the contract or less likely? Pitlick, Johan Larsson, and I have John Hayden as just examples of guys who would still be available. Of course, Barrett Hayton is not available. He is exempt. On the blue line, Goligoski, Hjalmarsson, and Osterley, they have something in common. All of them are unrestricted free agents in 2021. So I would look for probably Osterley to get signed to an extension. Capobianco is also an interesting name that's out there that maybe Seattle would see something in and they'd say, well, we'll take Capobianco. And Ranta, who is an unrestricted free agent in 2021. So it's possible that Seattle ends up getting a decent goaltender in Ranta. It's possible that maybe they pick up Hjalmarsson or Goligoski. But remember, one of the key things to keep in mind with Seattle is they have to take 20 guys out of their 30 who are under contract for the following season. They can't just take a bunch of guys that they know are going to be unrestricted free agents and then start from scratch on July 1st. So this is going to be interesting because, again, with Arizona, a team that a lot of their players are younger and not a team that has a ton of depth in comparison with like a Colorado or even to some extent a Vancouver, teams like this, that's going to make things more interesting. So the question that I would have is twofold. If you're Seattle and you're starting a team and you're trying to figure out who to take from Arizona, which of these guys do you take? Like, do you look at Stepan and go, you know what, he's still young enough, we can then sign him to an extension and keep him around? Do you look at Hjalmarsson and say that's a good number 5-6 defenseman to start things off with? Or do you go with one of the younger guys? Do you go with like a Tyler Pitlick and say we can do something with this? He can be one of our bottom 6 guys and then pick up the top 6 somewhere else. That's where things get interesting. And there's going to be a lot of work to be done by Seattle on this because you're trying to plot out your team, sort of like George McPhee did with Vegas, where he plotted out first line, second line, third line, fourth line, and all that. And then it's a matter of trying to figure out what you're going to get from Arizona that's going to work and where you slot that in. So there you go. Let me know which player you think Arizona's going to end up losing or which players Arizona should protect instead of the ones I have on the board. So that's the interesting challenge I have for people and anybody who might think, why would they protect Krause? Because I could understand if you don't watch Arizona a lot, you may not see Krause as necessarily being an attractive option. Believe me, if Krause was available, Seattle would grab him and run. Lawson Krause does still have some offensive upside. I think he's still progressing very well. And I can't see Arizona not protecting him. But there you go. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.